battling for it now over on the wing boards. McPhee is in there, and Casper trying to move, and he takes a hard hit from Ludwig, and they jousting, and Casper throws a punch at him. With the score of Boston nothing, Montreal nothing. We'll be back at the Forum in a moment. Lume winding up for Montreal. Up the boards. Crowder trying to contain it. Runs into McPhee. And a heavy collision there.
Martinson, they're a resident tough guy. He's just got a little bit of a shot in the back of the head. He doesn't know who did it to him. Corson's just... He scored 3 goals in the last 30 games. The regular shift.
At the line, over to Chelios. Back for Svoboda. Now to Smith. Smith wheels, shot, save, rebound, scored! Chelios! Hogwood. Canadiens defensive-minded now with that 1-0 lead. Robinson. And a heavy hit by Carter. He smashed Lemieux on that one. Bruins trying to keep it in over the line. Crowder with it. That was John Carter and Lemieux. Linsman is knocked down by Skrudland. And penalty, Montreal.
You got Brian Skrudland just flat lost it. Now Lemieux speared Crowder in the back of the leg.
Here's Skrudland going at Linsman, and he wrestles him to the ice.
Lemieux wants Carter, but I tell you, Claude Lemieux did not know where he was after Carter hit him. Skrudland just running around. He's got to pick up an extra 2. That should be 4 minutes to the advantage of the Bruins. Linsman will get 2 for roughing. Skrudland should get 4.
How about Hogwood holding off Claude Lemieux?
Hogwood doesn't care about it. He doesn't. You got to give him a ton of credit for his courage. He didn't care who he grabs. Claude Lemieux, tough kid, too. Greg Hogwood's not afraid of anybody.
I thought quite possibly Linsman getting the stick high might be effective.
Right there, great check by Carter. Clean check. Now Linsman circles around.
The shots are 9 for Montreal, 6 for Boston. The Canadiens score on a power play goal by Chelios. Terry O'Reilly sends out Gianni, Joyce, and Neely. Hoggood and Wesley. Skrudland. Neely had a big chance on the Bruins opportunity. Linsman trying to move in, and he's hit by Lemieux, and the play is called offside. John Carter offside on the play, and a little bit of jousting, and of course Linsman mostly in the center of things.
John Carter, they're going to change lines. Byers coming out with Brickley and Linsman. And I figured they would come out with Martinson. You mentioned before that he doesn't play the... Oh, we got the...
Little cheeseburger?
I have no idea what that is. Martinson and Byers. You mentioned earlier Pat Burns had never done anything like this, Fred. You would give him a little commendation for doing it right. Byers, the line was changed. He sent out Martinson strictly for that purpose.
And away they go. Martinson and Byers are off. Generally, Burns has not messed around with that. Said,
yeah.
Hey, here's my team. We'll score. Never mind the fighting. He got rid of Kordic, who was...
well, Kordic, I understand Kordic challenged him in the dressing room, like, you know, just, what are you doing? You got to play me. And he intimidated Perron, and Pat Burns says, you're not going to do it to me, and got rid of him.
Speaking of Jean Perron, he's now the coach of the Quebec Nordiques. The Bruins play the Nordiques, and a story today out of Toronto that Perron who is very much in command of the operation, wants to trade Goulet. Here they go, Byers and Martinson. Wants to trade Goulet and Peter Stastny.
Right there. I tell you, Lyndon Byers got a couple of very tough right uppercuts in there. Short. He couldn't really see them.
Can't make a play, though. Quintal back. A lead for Skrudland bearing in. The shot scores! Skrudland from Quintal to make it 2-0. Put it in front, couldn't do it. That play set up by Cote. Bruins battle in deep, and it's Crowder knocking down Lemieux. And
Richer is hurt.
And he collided with Gregson. They're both hurt.
With the official.
Terry Gregson and Stefan Richer.
Richer has hurt his knee. Gregson is out cold on the ice. Gregson's not moving.
Jim Narragan is looking at Gregson.
Richer is looking like it's his knee. He's all right. I think Richer must have thought it was another player. Maybe could have got a major penalty out of it. Now he knows it's a referee. He isn't getting anything. I hope Gregson's all right.
Now being taken out here, and a hush has come over the standing
Come over
room
this
only
building,
crowd.
and justifiably so.
The game is played at such a furious pace. It is amazing that there aren't more officials involved with injuries.
They do an excellent job of getting out of the way for the most part. And looks like Ron Finn is going to be your official, whether he puts on an armband or no.
Ron Finn is the senior of the two. He came in the league in 1969. He's been in 1,486 plus career games. Neely has it. Neely drops it in deep. Joyce goes for it. Belts down Carbonneau. Best check of the night.
Keith Carter and Claude Lemieux. Claude Lemieux not very happy ever since John Carter popped him in earlier. Going to get himself a penalty. Side of the net there, a little high stick. And he goes on. Crowder looking for him again. There's a little butt end in the face. Now Crowder's a little, he throws the right.
And the faceoff is being called outside the line. Why should the faceoff be outside the line? Chelios knocked Bob Sweeney into it. Hoggard rushes again. Right wing side, over the line for Neufeld. Neufeld's pass blocked, rolls in front, shot, score by Burridge on the follow-up of the Neufeld rush. Back to Svoboda again at the line. Again to Naslund. Moog knocked down, and here's Don Sweeney back to belt Lemieux. Now let's see if they give him matching penalties. And boy, you got to tip your hat to Don Sweeney.
By forwards all the time. He's got a thing to do. There's a cheap shot. He chopped him in the head. Now Don Sweeney doesn't know it. What happened? He didn't see it, but he sees Moog down. Well, let's go get him. He leaves him, and it just attacks Lemieux. But a cheap shot by Claude Lemieux. That should be a 5-minute major high sticking and out of the game. But that's what they said. It was a new rule.
Well, this is Ron Finn substituting for Gregson. And here goes Martinson and Bob Sweeney.
Bob Sweeney got about 4 good ones in. Lyndon Byers, I mean, Fred.
Lyndon Byers, I'm sorry.
Hey, I kind of figured that was Byers. He's a talented fighter. All he did, poor Lyndon stepped on a stick, and that happens an awful lot. He's laughing. He had to fight one, and then he stepped on a stick. You got to be careful. I remember one time I had a fight with John Ferguson. I told him that. He challenged me to a fight. Awful tough man, Ferguson. And
Byers on the bottom. Martinson ready to go at him. And Civic, fortunately, stays in between. And Finn now exerting his authority. He is the referee and the linesman. And he sends Martinson out of the game.
Lyndon Byers won the fight, stepped on the stick. And I remember in the fight with Ferguson, we were going around here in the forum one night, and I said, listen, he said, come on, let's go. And I said to him, well, listen, there's 20,000 people here. I said, I'm supposed to lose this fight, but if you step on the stick and I win, you're going to be embarrassed. I kind of talked him out of it, thankfully.
I can't recall you fighting Ferguson. High stick, says Finn.
Oh, come on.
Richer is out, and it could be that for the rest of the game they'll have the man advantage.
Yeah, that's it. That's unbelievable. Now, what you going to call on Moog? Same thing. Come on, Ron, smarten up.
It's a 2-minute penalty on Bob Sweeney, but there are just 4 minutes and 1 second left in regulation.
You're gonna watch right here. All he done, he has no intention of hitting Lemieux there, top right of your screen. Hitting Richer. I mean, Richer goes down like somebody shot him.
Well, accident or not, it's been called this year in most instances. Drops it back for Skrudland to Green. Green to Skrudland in front. Score! A drive in by Svoboda on the power play. And that makes it 3-1. Crowder up for Bob Sweeney, going deep on Ludwig. Can't put it in front, hauled down by Ludwig. And Chelios gets it away. Up for Corson. And Bob Sweeney punching away on Ludwig in frustration.
Sweeney Sweeney and Ludwig. What Ludwig did is just grabbed his arm and hauled him down. Ron Finn let it go. Sweeney was trying to go to the net. Interfered with, and now out of frustration and just, you know, trying to get a couple of punches away. Nothing aggravates you worse than the fans start singing. What's that? What's it sing here? Where we go or something?
They didn't do it until Svoboda scored.
Yeah, you don't get too cocky. Yeah, about saying banana, bye-bye now. But it's a little late. When Svoboda scored, that just kind of put the nail in the coffin.
If the Bruins play this well the rest of the season, they will do very, very well.
You got Chris Chelios. I have no idea who Chris Chelios is trying to impress. Fighting with Crowder. You got Shane Corson and Quintal.
Oh, he is pounding away.
Quintal did what he did, what Corson did. Right, he's throwing punches, Freddie. Absolutely doing nothing but hitting. Now he's getting it back. There you go, Shane. So, give and take. Quintal took about 12 off the helmet, and then everybody thinks that's a big deal. Nothing. Didn't bother him. He had to get loose. He finally did get loose, then gave him a few back on the side of the face. So it all evens out. Crowder and Chelios. Chris Chelios would just as soon be out of here for the night.
Limited manpower as far as officials are concerned.
Quintal is not finished with Corson at this point.
Crowder and Chelios. Nobody can land a punch.
No, you got Screwlands out there grabbing Howgood.
Corson and Quintal.
That's a good fight. Shane Corson.
Stephen Quintal. We get a good look at the youngster, 20 years old.
Now Corson and Quintal decide they're both exhausted. I think I can't lift my arms anymore. How about you? I can't either. They let it go. Sweeney and Ludwig.
I tell you, the Bruins need this aggressiveness from Bob Sweeney. It's only 23 seconds left. It is late in the game. Bob Sweeney's a big guy. He's got to play that way.
If he plays that way,
and aggressive.
Yeah, if he plays that way, he's going to be very, very effective.
Here is Sweeney, and there is Ludwig. And Ludwig.
Right there. See, the body position, hauling Bob down is what frustrated him, and then he fell on his back.
I wouldn't say he held him, though. He just used his body very effectively. Ludwig, he's an outstanding defensive.
He held him, Fred. Pulled his arm.
And it's taken over by Lume. Lume is smashed down by Neely, but he passed it up successfully. And they salute Patrick Roy. Very much a factor in this one. And the #1 star of the game, Patrick Roy.
You pick it.
Pat Burns here as the Canadiens salute Roy. The Bruins skate off, but heads high, even though they lost the game again. They haven't beaten Montreal this season. The final score, Montreal 3 and Boston 1. We'll return with Bruins action and our summary in a moment.